Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another X-Files episode. We're dealing with the 11th episode of the first season, Eve. And this deals with an interesting concept. This is a Myth Arc episode that has to deal with a program that the government was running that has since been quote unquote discontinued, although who knows what is really going on. But we'll get more into that as we discuss the episode because there isn't really there's a monster if you want to call it that, but it's very integral to the story's plot more so than the cause of the story's plot. So it starts with a couple finding a young girl standing outside of her house. When they ask her what's up, she says that her father wanted to be alone. The couple go to investigate. They find the father dead with a set of incisions on his neck. Mulder and Scully get involved. Mulder believes this has to do with cattle mutilations on a human being, which in the UFO community, it's actually not unheard of. It's not particularly common, but there have been cases of that allegedly reported. I don't know if there's any connection to the actual phenomenon or not, but they do exist. They're out there. So this does have some precedence. Sorry. They find out that the father was exsanguinated, and the girl says that she saw red lightning and that her father died. That the men from the clouds came and exsanguinated her. Afterwards, they travel across the country, and they find a very similar case happened. And when they account for the time differential of it being in California as opposed to the East Coast, I forgot exactly where, they find out that the murders happened at exactly the same time. And now the children have been kidnapped. Turns out both of the girls look identical. And it turns out, as Deep Throat will reveal to Mulder, that they are in fact clones of this eugenics program that the government was using at one point. However, things went wrong, and the people doing that were basically taken off the case. Well, it turns out this person, one of the clones, escaped and began doing this work on her own. And it turns out that because of the nature of the way the clones were working, they were given super strength, super intelligence, a few other things too. It turns out because of the way they were created, they also go homicidally insane. So it turns out that there's a whole bunch of different Eves, which is the title that the female clones were given. There were male clones and female clones, Adams and Eves. I believe Eve 6 and 7 kidnapped the girls. And the girls, which are later named Eve 9 and 10, they poison Eve 6, and she dies. Or actually, Eve 6 and 7, I believe, both die there. Mulder and Scully find them. The girls tell her that the other Eves were trying to make them commit suicide by drinking poison. The agents take them into their custody. It turns out the girls are the ones who you already said that the girls were the ones who poisoned them. They're trying to trick the agents. The girls try to poison the agents, but it doesn't work. The agents try to arrest them, but they're at a truck stop, and the girls scream out, and some truckers come out with guns, and then they're like, "We're federal agents," and they're like, "We don't believe you," and then, things happen. But they eventually do catch the girls. They're put into the same mental ward they're put into the same mental ward one of the previous Eves had been in, and it ends with Eve 8 showing up and them saying, "Oh, how'd you know I was going to come here?" And they're like, "We just knew." Suggesting that the Eves are all sort of mentally connected, because it turns out I believe the ones that killed the fathers were the girls, and they do show murderous intent. So it is quite an interesting episode. This one's pretty good. It's pretty different. You're not actually, as far as I know, these aren't tied into the aliens per se, but it works alongside the government agenda with making clones, because clones are part of it, but it was more of a merging of alien and human DNA. And I don't believe these were alien human hybrids, because they don't have some of the other stranger properties of that. But yeah, so that's this episode in a nutshell. It's a little weird. It's honestly, I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 10. It's not amazing, but it's not a bad episode. I can see where you could have fun with it if you like the concept of cloning. Um, I don't really like the idea of them having superpowers just because they have extra chromosomes. That's not really how that kind of works. They don't really have superpowers, but they're super intelligent and stronger than a regular person, but they're also crazy. I don't really buy that. I just bad cloning, I'm guessing. Um, so that being said, it's an okay episode. It's watchable. It's about average for this season one. Um, Nothing really too bad. Nothing really too amazing or really stand out, in my opinion. The girls did a fine job. Usually children actors are a problem, but they did fine here. So definitely check this one out. Not a lot to really say on this one. It's about cloning and stuff like that. So not too strange, really, when you boil it down. I mean, it was strange for the time, but nowadays it's like cloning is really just a fact of life, not a strange, wacky idea that could happen at some time. But anyway, tune in next time when we check out the episode Fire. We find out something about Mulder, and we find out an interesting entry into the Monster of the Week series. All right. See y'all then, folks. Goodbye.